Good morning, friends. Hi, I'm Leah. Sorry, I'm running a little late today. It's fine. Anyway, we'll get there in a second. But hi, hello, hi. How is everyone? Lassie, hi. Congratulations on arriving first. Des, hi. Cherney, hi. Thanks for the treat. Ooh, I get to have another cinnamon roll. This is amazing. I love this. Which is great because I'm actually hungry. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna work on a cheese stick while I talk so that I can have my cinnamon roll. This is not the treat. That's the treat. But well, yeah, I have to have my cheese stick first. Jane, hello, hi. Brig, hello, hi. How are you? Yes, famed fork streamer, famed fork knife streamer. That's me. Fork knife in the kitchen, fork knife in the gaming, where that's what we do here. Um, I suppose I could just like bite this, ang, 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 ang. But that's just not as satisfying. You have to peel the little strips off, or it's no fun. I'm so cheesy. No, you're cheesy. Um, Hi, Mom. Yeah, they're really good. Yeast is easy as long as it's not dead. And it's easy to check. You just put it in warm water with some sugar, and if it bubbles, then you're good. And if it doesn't, then it's dead and you need new yeast. Easy. I will say, this specific recipe, is a little bit fussy, but not because of the yeast dough, for other reasons. How is everyone today? Are you all having a good week? I mean, I realize in a lot of cases it's, are you having a good week within context? Cherney is a zombie. That can be fun. But you're surviving. Cherney is surviving their own personal zombie apocalypse. Surviving, or surviving in an undead capacity? Des, this has been a pretty decent week. Did you play Shadowrun last night? I didn't talk to you except like right after your stream, which is a little weird. I'm kind of used to talking to Des like 24/7. Except when I'm asleep, Where she is. Lassie noticed that I turned to set the menu back on. Indeed, I did. I turned it back on because I only have one left, and it's the mofongo for pies. And I know pies isn't in any hurry, and so, it'll be okay. Okay, so what is this? Lassie says we can do this one or not do this one. Hold on. Okay, can you chat? Chat! Stop. There. Okay. So let me dump this into Discord real quick so that I don't lose it. And then lemon garlic baked chicken drumsticks. Why wouldn't it be stream friendly? It looks pretty good. Like, it looks pretty easy. Hold on. Oh, because it has to marinate. Okay. Pat the chicken dice. She seasoned with kosher salt, seasoned under the skin. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So it's looking to try to get the skin really crispy. I got it. Okay. Well, I mean, as long as you're okay with me having to do I see what you're saying. Because, like, it says let this chicken marinate for 30 minutes, or if you have time, 2 to 4 hours. Okay. No, I think we can do that. I think as long as I do the salting part ahead of time, because obviously I can't, like, just let it sit in the fridge overnight and stream the whole time. 24-hour stream, yay. No, I can't do that. I would die. And as long as you don't mind me just like doing that part ahead of time and then doing the marinade on stream. And then while it's marinating, obviously we can make like some sides or something and that'll be good. Yeah, no, I think that'll work. I think that's fine. Thank you, Lassie. I appreciate it. It actually looks really good. I'm excited. Okay. Des says we did not. Instead, we played a couple of rounds of a deck building board game. It was pretty interesting. Cherney says I feel brain dead and hungover, but I cranked out 2 maps yesterday despite the Rip Van Winkle nap. And I got a few boxes repacked this week, so I'm closer to getting things to long-term storage. And I even called the cleaners this morning. Cherney, you're killing it. You are not a zombie. You're a busy beaver. Zombie beaver? Are there zombie beavers? I'm sure Grog would immediately start working up the stats for a zombie beaver. Jane, hi. Hi, Jane. Are you off? Are you off? Like working, not working, off? Lassie says this week has had its ups and downs. Yeah, you were saying something about that in Des's chat too. Journey says, for the set the menu, do I need to give you a specific recipe? Or can I give you a food type and you can take your pick? No, you can totally do that. No, you could totally do that. I don't think you're going to be able to do it today because I have it limited to once per stream. But yeah, sure. However you want to do it is totally fine. Cherney says 24-hour stream, just a camera in the fridge watching the chicken. The problem is that I think that doesn't the light in the fridge go off? Like, doesn't the light in the fridge go off when you close the door? Like, I feel like that's like kind of a problematic situation. I'm going to eat this one because it's ugly. And I'm going to leave the pretty one for Grog. This is so messy. It's so gooey. Oh my God. I think this must have been the center one. I wonder if Grog would prefer a gooey one or a less gooey one. I don't actually know. How is it that I don't know my husband's preferences when it comes to goo? I feel like when it comes to brownies, he doesn't actually have a preference, so maybe it's the same with cinnamon rolls. Cherney says it's not that wild given the number of 3D printer channels. No, that's true. No, that is very fair. So gooey. Oh my God. Leslie says whatever you need to do. Like I said, I have a more stream-friendly recipe if you want. No, I think that's totally fine. No, I think that totally works. Yeah, as long as you don't mind me salting it ahead of time, I think it's fine. Jane played some Expedition 33 this morning and then bought a Fortnite outfit. Oh my God, I love that. And now I'm curled up on the couch, so I'm on mobile today. Yay. Yeah, you should totally enjoy the ability to be less than fully upright. I am also curious which outfit. It will give me a sense of what Jane's Fortnite outfit style is. Cherney just really wants to see the inside of my fridge for 24 hours. I got it. Cool. Awesome. The light is triggered by a flipper switch that the door pushes off. Yes. There's ways to work around that and or add another light. Fair. Briggs says, of course, the light doesn't switch off. The door is a portal to the food dimension. That's what Chester thinks. That's what he thinks about this door right here. Portal to the food dimension. All right. Cherney is off to do adulting. Enjoy your adulting. I hope it all goes well. Thanks for popping in and saying hi and feeding me. I appreciate it. Because I actually was hungry and I was going to need a snack, whether somebody redeemed it or not. You hit my old hyperfixation. It's not my fault. It's never your fault. Fault is a collaborative effort in these parts. Jane sent me a picture of your outfit so you can see it later. Mm-mm. 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 Stick with me and you'll never go hungry again. Oh my god. Okay, so I forgot to fix my earbuds. That's fine. This is good. We're pros here. Alice, thank you so much for the resubscription. I appreciate it. Also know you're a hot cupcake. But thank you for the resubscription. Enjoy your emotes and your ad-free viewing. Where? In Discord or in Instagram? Probably Instagram. Because that's where you just send me things. Ooh, okay, I see. Is it the purple that we're attracted to? It's a very clean skin. I like it. Mom says if someone wants to set the menu, I will no, you cannot donate. No donating the channel points. Actually, you can, but not today because today. So next time you're in and you see it available, you can redeem it if you want and donate it to someone. But good luck getting to it first. A lot of people have a lot of channel points at this stage, but I will allow it. Oh, Jane says it's music reactive, so it changes colors. I see. Prig says you should see the thing I suggested to Leah earlier. Spoiler, it's not beans related. No, it's apricot related. And actually, I definitely could have used that recipe a few weeks ago because I got a bunch of apricots from Imperfect Foods and they were just not great. I feel like that happens with apricots more than it does with almost anything else. Like nectarines, peaches, like most of the time they're kind of okay. But sometimes apricots, they're just like the texture and they're not sweet enough and I don't know. It's just, I think it's hard to get a good one. Lassie says I'm at 17,000 points, so I'm out of the race. Fair. Okay, so Mom says it's an open offer for when the next set the menu is available. If I'm not on stream that day, Leah can tell me, no, I'm not going to. You have to be here. So Brig can redeem it if she wants, but Brig also has a shit ton of channel points. So I feel like most people, except for Lassie, probably have a lot of channel points at this stage. Jane says I'm big into the dark and rainbow thing. My old coworkers called me a emo unicorn because that's just my aesthetic. There is one unicorn in Fortnite. And it would absolutely, I think, be your jam. However, it was in an old battle pass and they're not bringing it back. So you can't even get it. It sucks. It's so funny though. Like the backstory for this skin is probably one of the most colorful backstories of any Fortnite skin that I'm aware of. It's a unicorn man who's kind of like a Fabio type. Advertising, you know how Fabio did I can't believe it's not butter. This unicorn advertises for a physically, psychologically, I'm not sure which it is, addictive sugary cereal. And he reps this cereal and then gets addicted to it. And this is like the whole backstory for this Fortnite unicorn. This is why I love Fortnite. It's so great. Jane finally has enough points for VIP. Yes, but Jane, you're a mod. Lassie says I would have more, but I'm trying to get you to watch more anime, but you're refusing. I know, I haven't watched anything. I'm terrible. I've been watching The Handmaid's Tale while I work out, and that's the only time I watch television is for like maybe 45 minutes a day, like 5 days a week. And it's the only thing I'm watching. Alice says they hardly have any channel points because I spend them all on telling you that you're hot. Okay, well, channel points well spent. Abby has enough for 2, and I think I'll save it for my successors. Yeah, see, Jane's a mod, and she can't. Yeah. Oh, Lassie, Jane says, Lassie, you telling me that I can't makes me want to push the button even more. Yeah. So yeah. See, then push it. Push it good. Push it real good. Anyway, so here was my problem this morning. Actually, I had two problems. Actually, I had three. I had three. Four. I had four problems, which is actually not bad considering I only started stream like 15 minutes late. So problem number one was that I don't remember why I didn't usually the day before I type up the recipe that I'm doing, and for some reason I didn't do that yesterday, and so I thought it was done, and then I started to change the recipe command and it wasn't done, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so this was like past Leah causing future Leah issues." The next problem was that on Tuesday I had a meeting, and I needed my makeup. I needed to put on makeup. And so I brought my makeup with me in the car and I couldn't find it. Like all my makeup was in my makeup bag and I couldn't find my makeup bag.
You're hot,
like, okay.
Cupcake.
Okay, this is great. Oh my God, Jane, you can't be a VIP. You're a mod. I'm not demoting you. Put away your points. Lassie says you could have made Leah eat two things, Jane, and made her ignore a show you want her to watch. Abby has to cook today too. Yay, cooking! Megabytes. Hi, thank you. You're also a hot cupcake. Mom says I can't watch The Handmaid's Tale. Feels like too much a documentary or prediction. I felt that way when it first came out, but like now I'm just kind of like I don't know. It feels like I don't know. It feels different. And also like I was like I'm just going to watch one episode because I have another friend who's watching it and he kind of got me into it. And so I was like, well, I'll just watch one episode and see if it's good. And really I needed a new show to get me to work out because I need to work out. This is just this is the other reason that I was late. Okay, so this is reason number, I don't remember. Where am I? I don't know. There were four reasons and I think I said two of them, but I don't remember what the fourth one was now. So whatever. The problem is like, so I hesitate to talk about this stuff because I know it's like weird and sometimes triggering for people. And so I don't really like it. So if you're not into like discussions of like what weight and health and weight loss and whatever, just like peace out for like 3 minutes because I'm just going to talk about this because it's just been anyway. So here's where we are. So back in March, I guess, I had a physical. Some numbers came back in a way that my doctor wasn't like greatly pleased with. We had a little conversation about it and like I haven't really been working out that much, like almost at all. Really, I hadn't really been working out like almost at all. And so like she was like, you really do need to be like getting some physical exercise. And I'm like, oh, fine. And I tightened up my diet a little bit in some ways. And now I have to have protein with my sugar, and so hence the cheese stick prior to that. You know what I mean? So this is just like this stuff. But it's health related. Do you know what I mean? Like this isn't like whatever. But the upshot of it is I've lost, I don't know, the last time I checked was like 2-3 weeks ago and I'd lost 15 pounds. I've probably lost a little bit more since then. And the problem is that whenever my shape changes, this is like classic girl behavior, right? Whenever my shape changes in any way, my clothes don't fit right. And I'm like, so I'm left with trying to figure out like putting on this shirt and being like, I don't know how to function in shirt. Why is this a problem? Who cares? Nobody cares what I have on as long as I am covered on Twitch. Nobody cares what I'm wearing. And so I put on these jeans and I was like, ugh, they look weird. And so I tucked in the shirt and I was like, okay, but now the shirt looks weird tucked in. And then I was like, oh, I need a belt. And then it took me like 5 minutes to find all the belts and figure out which one was going to work out because I never wear belts. And so I was just like, so anyway, I couldn't get dressed. I was literally like little miss, 13-year-old girl. I hate all of my clothes and none of them fit. And that really isn't the case. It just took me a few minutes longer to like figure out how to, adorn myself. Jane says, or I could flex my points. Okay, so we're done. We're done with that. We're not talking about that anymore. So Jane says, oh, I could flex my points by redeeming something. I can't have just because I'm a dork. Yes, but a lovable dork. Oh, Brig refunded you. Oh my God, so funny. Des says, I remember reading A Handmaid's Tale in school, and so watching the show feels like a school project, so I've only seen like season one. I didn't read it in school. I did read it. I mean, I did read it when I was in school. I read it in, I think I think in high school, but it wasn't for school. It was like, it was just another, like, it was just a book to read. Um, and I think because I can't actually remember what happened, but my recollection is, and I can't remember what year it was, but my recollection is that I kind of looked at the curriculum, and I think this might have been junior year, and said, why is everyone male? Why is the entirety of literature that I am being asked to read? And of course, that was American literature, and Margaret Atwood's Canadian, but whatever. Um, why is all of literature male? And so I can't remember if I asked a librarian or my teacher, or there wasn't really the internet. That wasn't really a thing. I mean, there was, but it was like AOL, and it wasn't like you could just search something up like that, like lists of, but it may very well have been like a chain email of like the top 100 female authors to read, or like maybe in the New Yorker or something, because I was a huge New Yorker fan back then. And so I ended up reading that. I read a bunch of things. I read a bunch of Toni Morrison. I read, I don't remember. I don't remember what all. It didn't all completely sink in, but that was one of the things that I read, kind of my own, whatever. Um, Abby says we love dork dinguses and nerds here. Yeah, and it's funny because I know, I mean, this is why it's difficult to talk about, because I know that, like, no, you know what? We're done. I'm just done. I'm done talking about it. The outfit looks great. Sad that it wasn't, and that wasn't 13 for you. It was 5. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess I've always had kind of like issues, right? Like I've always had, and it's specifically surrounding clothing. Like I have very fixed ideas of what I want something to look like. And when it doesn't look like it looked in my head, it like throws me off in like any way, right? Like, so if like the shades are slightly wrong, or if I feel like it's been hard to have pink hair, because I've kind of been like, how, like some of my outfits, like I put on a red t-shirt one day and I was like, oh, that's, mm-mm. that is a yucky textural thing. I don't like it. And so I've kind of put away all of my red shirts for the time being. I have like 4 of them, and I'm not going to wear any of them. Anyway, so now that we have wasted half an hour, which is the entirety of the amount of time this recipe should probably really take, right? Like this probably should not take any longer than half an hour. Maybe we should get started on cooking. Mom says, I think you just have a high sense of fashion. I don't know. I don't know. Abby says, I own a singular piece of red clothing. I have too many clothes, is the other problem. Megabytes says, let's waste another half hour first. Welcome to here, because this is par for the course, where I just stand in the kitchen and talk. Leah's been haunted by the urge to slay. Yes, it sometimes results in but you guys, like clothes are hard, right? Because this is like an identity thing, and particularly when I'm streaming, it's like a branding thing. And I used to wear my little pinup dresses, and I kind of got away from that when I stopped doing my vintage business, and I just they felt weird. It just felt like it didn't fit. And so like it's just like most of the time but most of the time these days I don't have very many problems getting dressed, just because I can kind of wear whatever I want, But like for some reason this morning I just like I put on like 4 different things, and I was just like, none of this looks right. So Megabytes is mine or no worse. A dish that takes 45 minutes takes 3 hours. You understand. Oh my God. I'm so relieved. Sometimes I feel really bad, you guys. Sometimes I feel really bad. Particularly when people come in from the food and drink spaces. Like, I feel really bad because like there are other people that are like, they're educational. They talk about the food. They talk about like chemistry and food safety and how like the interplay of flavors works together and why you're doing this thing with this particular technique or whatever, and it's all really interesting, it's really cool. And they spend the whole time cooking. Like I have a friend, and I'm not going to name names like cuz I don't, and it's just not necessary, but like I have a friend who will make like 4 things in 3 hours. And he'll just like I'm gonna make crackers and I'm gonna make sausage and I'm gonna smoke this thing and I'm gonna set up for this next stream, like by making this and this, and it's gonna ferment for like 3 days. And I'm like, how in 3 hours, how? Yeah, see, Megabytes talks about life and makes us dinner. That's much more like, hold on, wait, do I follow you? That's much more like this vibe, right? No, I don't. Why don't I follow you? What the hell? Okay, because I've seen your name around. Like and I'm not entirely sure where, but like when I'm in other food and drink chats and stuff, I don't always know who's a streamer and who's not, though. You know what I mean? And I'm not just gonna follow all the random people that all of my friends hang out with. Um, we need a different category. Yap and food and drink. There are times when I'm like there are times when I stream and just chatting. There are times when I'm just kind of like, we're just going to be in the kitchen and we're going to cook and that's just going to be how it is. But since we talked about this last week, we talked about it just yesterday, we've talked about this a few times, but there's a food and drink creator club now, which is an actual official Twitch club. There was kind of an unofficial situation before, and I was involved in that too, but just not like super actively. I mostly just joined because my friend John was doing some collab stuff, and that was how he was coordinating it, and so that was like the only reason that I was really in there. I just kind of didn't. I don't know. I'm terrible about participating in other people's discords, first of all, because I don't have the time. But there's this new Twitch food and drink club. There's it's very specific. They're very, very specific. There's a DJ one, or like maybe music and DJs or something like that. There's IRL, so like people who will like go out in a city and film. Do you know what I mean? Like people who will like go, like, it would be like if I were to go to my local farmer's market and do a stream from there, that would be like an IRL stream. Or I can't remember what the other ones are, but there's not very many of them. And so a couple of folks who have been kind of big in the food and drink space for a while and are pretty much exclusively food and drink streamers, unlike me, because I also do gaming, obviously. We created a petition and everybody signed the petition and to get Twitch to make this an official club. And so that's how that happened. And what's been interesting about it is that I think because we're now seeing each other's names more often in the Discord, and like people are kind of, I don't know, more bought into it. And it was kind of less dependent too, because it's like a thing that's promoted Twitch wide now. It's kind of less of a thing that's like dependent on kind of who you know already. So it's less of a networking thing and more of kind of like an official thing. That I just, like on Tuesday, I got 3 raids like from food and drink people. The only people I ever get food and drink raids from were like, I almost never, right? Like Michaela, so MK Chick, and then Dana's Kitchen, our friend Dana, who's like splits her time between Romania and Canada. But that was also like just a timing thing. Anyway, so I've been kind of more committed to the food and drink category, even though they have that horrible AI art. I hate it so much. But anyway, this is nothing I apparently do about that. No! Megabytes, we got her ranting for another 30 minutes. Yes, you did. You successfully got me off track. I actually called. I usually try to post a couple of hours before I go live that I'm going to be live in a couple of hours, give people a chance to like catch up and see it and stuff. And I posted that today was going to be Leah Distractorama 2025, and it totally is. Whenever I go into a stream and I'm like, I have plenty of time. This recipe's like a 30-minute recipe. It's one pot. It's going to take me seconds. Then it takes me 3.5 hours to finish the 30-minute thing. Okay. IRL, DJ, food and drink. Oh yes, makers and crafting, or artists and makers, and like 2 more. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's very cool. You probably get another 2 hours. I'm eventually going to flip to the food screen, and then we will actually start things, I promise. Megabyte says they've put in asking the art to change. Yeah, I think I signed something about that too. It's ghastly. What were they thinking? Honestly, what were they thinking? I mean, first of all, that it's AI generated. Just come on. Just there's so many amazing, wonderful, beautiful artists out there who would be happy to like draw something or like make something or what. And it's this like outdated 70s like trash looking jello salad thing that's like so not the vibe for any of the people that I follow. There's one guy that does that. He's on YouTube. He is the guy for that kind of thing. And the rest of us are just not going to touch that, you know? Des says you need to stop calling them easy recipes. It gives us a challenge. Yeah. Stanley, hi. Hi, hello. Last says I've heard that before. Yeah. The food and art ones are offensive. Oh my God, is the art one AI generated? Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? There's no excuse for that. The category picture. The category picture for food and drink used to say food and drink, and it was like a white male chef holding like some produce. And he's like in a chef's hat and a chef's jacket and stuff. And it's a very formal looking picture for a category that's a lot of like home cooks, self-taught cooks, and like people just kind of randomly doing food and drink on a particular day, you know, who don't usually do it and aren't chefs, you know. It was just a really awkward picture. And so Cake, the craft master of 2003. Hello. Hi. How are you? Good to see you. Megabyte says it just says art over a generic forest painting with a frame. I bet it is. I bet it's also AI, right? I bet it is. How gross. How gross. They couldn't ask the Bob Ross Foundation, who's literally on Twitch airing old episodes. Yeah, there's so many options, right? There's so many options for better ways to do that. You can't tell me that Twitch doesn't have graphic designers on staff, first of all. Like, come on, really? Or did they just fire all of them? Yeah, it's gross. So anyway, okay, guess what? Guess what? We're doing it. We're doing the thing. I'm pushing the button. This is happening. Look, you can see the camera. You can see the food camera. You can see the workspace. We are cooking. Cake, I'm not sure what you're asking. Doing what? I'm hard to keep track of a comment like that in all of the chaos. Kai Railfan, hi. But AI makes sure the person in my drawing has 12 fingers on each hand. Yeah, ideal. Fruit or dessert. Brain Mage, hi. Thank you for the raid. How's it going? How was your stream? Oh, look, Brain Mage was playing cryptic crosswords, something different, something new and different. No, guys, Brain Mage, super, super funny, an actual honest to goodness comedian who does cryptic crosswords typically, I think almost every morning, every weekday anyway. And an extremely swift raid and run crosswords. What a shock. Yeah, so take off. Go do the thing. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon/evening, and thank you for the raid again. I appreciate it. But I will continue to tell you all how wonderful and funny Brain Mage is, and how warm and welcoming and sometimes abusive, but only amusingly so. His community is, and so if you are into comedy and puzzles, you should definitely drop him a follow because he does both. supremely well. If you are new here, hi, I'm Leah. I am your favorite fork knife streamer. I do cooking content typically 2 days a week. I play Fortnite 2 days a week. We do a variety of other things on the channel, but that's the crux of it. If either of those things sound fun to you, please do drop me a follow because we'd love to have you back. I don't claim to be as clever or amusing as Brain Mage is, but I try. So, Arcadia says the easiest recipe in the world. Are we making beans on toast? God forbid. That is not a recipe. That is a set of instructions. Pour beans in pan. Put beans on toast. Eat. Regret all of the life choices that have brought you to this point. Jen, hi. Oh my gosh, hi. How have you been? It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you around very much, but then again, I also Wayward's had to cancel a bunch of streams lately, and then I've had things going on in the mornings lately. I've had appointments and places I had to be and stuff, and so I keep missing streams. Haven't seen Wayward, haven't seen anyone else. Jim hasn't been streaming. You've been completely out of my orbit. This is so Leah, so judgmental. That's me. So judgmental. I will judge beans on toast every day if you ask me to, from now until the day I die. Stanley is happy. I'm glad you're happy. Megabytes can't boil water. You can't boil water? Do you not have electricity? Arcadia says, aren't all recipes just a list of instructions though? Yes, but most of them have more than 4. The ones that are worth eating mostly have more than 4. Abby says, and some 2-page long rant about how a family member's passing inspired a chicken dish. Yes. Megabyte says, no, it's just really hard to do. Boiling water is really hard. Boiling water is really hard for me. Everything is hard for me today. The other thing is that I keep staring down at this thing. You guys, I keep forgetting to take the things in the morning. I did this yesterday and I'm doing it again today. It's just 2 vitamins in it. It's just a Zyrtec, a vitamin, and a probiotics. This is not interesting stuff. But if you also forgot to take your meds today, take your meds. Abby says we're getting another 30 minutes easy. The more you say that, the more it makes me want to cook. Okay, I'm gonna get a plastic cutting board, and I'm gonna get a chicken. I have a chicken. I went to the butcher yesterday, like the actual butcher shop. Actually, I'm just gonna. Okay. Hold on. Actually, let's do it this way because this is disgusting. Raw chicken. Gross. Anyway, so we're just gonna do this. I'm not gonna wash the chicken or anything. I'm just doing this over the sink because this package is kind of drippy. So you guys, Virginia, the state of Virginia, my state, just recently outlawed, but I think people have like a year or 2 or something to wrap their heads around it and come find another solution. But outlawed styrofoam packaging. And so my butcher is going to have to find some other way of packaging their stuff because they use styrofoam and they're not allowed anymore. Will be interesting to see. I mean, I feel like they use styrofoam and plastic wrap, which is actually terrible. Why? I feel why wouldn't you just use butcher paper? It's literally in the name. What is going on with these chicken breasts? Chicken breasts are, hold on, let me move this. Chicken breasts are mutant chicken breasts. I asked him about it. I asked the butcher about it, and he was like, it's the only thing we can get. He was like, I know, they're ridiculous, but it's the only thing we can get. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, sure. Stanley says, guess what I got? I don't know. What'd you get? How am I supposed to guess? Oh, wait, no, I can guess. You got metallic 3D printer filament. That's my guess. Abby says, I wish there was one near me so I could get some lamb or goat. I don't know that mine has goat. There are halal butchers here. They would have goat. Megabyte says, but Leah, what's your opinion on the best video game of the year? Distraction questions. If you label it a distraction question, I'm not going to be distracted by it. Also, I don't really play new games. Like, I just kind of play Fortnite. I'm sorry. Kai says when styrofoam is outlawed, only outlaws will use styrofoam. Yes. Jane says, who was rude enough to eat all of my naan? It's me. I'm rude. This is so, okay. This is ridiculous. This is so big. Okay. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and cut this way. I'm going to kind of make like little cutlets because this is like, it's not going to cook like evenly or quickly on the stovetop, which is what I have to do today. So I'm gonna just kind of slice this way. This chicken is so big, my knife isn't even long enough to cut through the whole thing. I should cut it the other way, honestly, but it's fine. There. Okay. There's chicken. I'm going to wash my hands because this is disgusting. And also unsanitary. I don't know. There's nothing that bothers me as much as raw chicken. Yesterday I had, so the other thing I got at the butcher shop was tri-tip. And I don't know, I would actually probably, I wish Grog were here because I should actually Google like what part of a beef tri-tip actually is. Because somebody, when I was actually there, when I was at the butcher shop, another customer was like, what is that? And I was like, it's meat. But it has something to do with like a part of the tenderloin, I think, that they just cut differently for to make this cut. No, so wrong. Extra wrong. I'm very wrong. Okay. A triangular cut of beef taken from the bottom sirloin subprimal cut, specifically from the tensor fasciae latae muscle. It's known for its triangular shape, hence the name tri-tip. Anyway, so I did make, oh, okay, Jen is going to learn because she just really needs sleep. Jen, I hope you get some good rest. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming along on the raid. Okay, so Abby's Ice says, I've been saving the spice I got with the gift card you sent me so I can cook some lamb or goat. Ooh, fun. Stanley says, I did get that, but I got a camera for the printer and now I'm streaming it. I'm so happy it's working the way I thought it would. Excellent. Congratulations. Megabyte says that's what she, never mind. Can somebody, I don't know what Megabytes was referring to, but can someone bonk them, please? Because I'm sure that was bonk worthy. Noob says, I think it's the bottom sirloin. How the hell do you know that, Noob? How the hell do you know that? The only place I've ever really seen it routinely is California. Sirloin, was he part of the round table? Well, part of him was. Yes, thank you. Thank you for bonks. Noob says, I have an approximate knowledge of many things. Also, hi, Noob. Hi, how are you? Are you off work now? Good to see you. Sirloin was at the kids' table. And also Google. You'll behave. You don't have to behave here. It's fine. I mean, like, to a point, you know, if we get, like, actually, like, genuinely pornographic, we're going to have a conversation about it. But, you know, no, you don't have to behave here. Oh, it's an Adventure Time quote. Ah, okay. I know nothing about Adventure Time. Mom says it's on the cow. It's between the top sirloin and the flank next to the round. This is a booby out kind of stream. Oh my God, Noob. You're just trying to get bonked too. Noob also wants bonks. Okay, so, right. So, I should probably grab the recipe, huh? That would probably be good. Like, recipe would be good. Am I right? Yeah. Like, we're cooking from a recipe, from like a really easy recipe. And so we should make the recipe, which means that I need it off the printer. Okay, put a large pot on medium heat and add olive oil. Add onion, garlic, and cubed chicken. It's supposed to cube the chicken. Oh no, I'm supposed to cook it first and then cube it. I'm supposed to start with cooked chicken. I did not start with cooked chicken. I started with raw chicken. This is fine. Jane says my dog is taking over my couch space and I'm just gonna let her. I don't need room. Aww. Precious doggy. Abby says we love tits and boobies. They're very important to their respective ecosystems. Okay, guys. Calm your tits. All right. You know, I think I might... This is just 20 ounces of broccoli. It says 2 cups of water, 1 chicken bouillon cube. I'm going to use chicken stock because that's what I have. And I wasn't just going to buy chicken bouillon cubes to use one of them. 2 cups of cooked chicken, 10 ounces of pasta. I feel like this is going to be voluminous. It's going to be voluminous. So I think I'm going to cook it in the Dutch oven because I think that's the only pot that I have that's going to actually work for this. And olive oil. And I think I should be able to just cook the chicken in the pot, right? And then do the other things with it. I don't know. I don't do one pot meals, guys. I don't believe in them. But this is for my gig. So I've got a gig. Got a gig where I'm doing a cooking class for a local kitchenware store. And this is the recipe. And so I'm having to figure out how I'm going to do this. Megabytes didn't go that far. Oh no, definitely not. You're well on the appropriate side of the line. Jane says I must have spilled some naan on the blanket because she's doing a lick. Doing a yum. Abby says there's some at the bird feeders probably. I'll let him know you told them to calm down. Noob says I still love that thing in the news that a certain bird is getting larger beaks due to the bird feeders in the UK. Also writable as great tits gain massive peckers. Yes, Lassie, a gig. It's 2 hours once a month. I don't really think we call that a job. It's it's a gig. Hi, geek. Good to see ya. Thanks for the lurk. Okay. So we're gonna cook some chicken. And then we're gonna chop some onion. And then we're gonna chop some garlic. I need a tablespoon. That's probably enough. And then we're gonna do things. This is gonna be great. Noob is gonna make something resembling dinner. I think you should make something actually edible. It's just my opinion though. And I'm not your mom, so you can do what you want. I'm just waiting for the pot to heat up. Abby should also get food. And then I have to go get some dog food. Everyone needs food. Abby needs food. Noob needs food. Dog needs food. My dog does not need food. He's asleep. Not hot yet. Jane just got food. Jane, what did you get? Megabyte says, but real question, is garlic okay? You know what? I am a firm believer in whatever gets you fed is okay. I actually almost made this. If it hadn't been 2 solid pounds, I almost made this with pre-cooked chicken from Costco. And I wouldn't have judged anyone. I feel like there are times when I've made ramen with dino nuggies in it for protein. That whatever gets you fed is the right answer. Do I personally prefer to chop my own garlic? Yes, I think it's garlickier. But I am definitely not above garlic. particularly if you have like mobility issues and you can't chop garlic, and that's the difference between being able to have garlic in your food and not have garlic in your food. I'm 100% in favor of garlic in your food. Um, Abby wants Jane to send over some of that naan. Yeah, leftover Indian from yesterday. Excellent. Jane says I would, but I ate it all. Lassie says garlic is fine. You just need like double the garlic. Aha! Aha! Jane says garlic makes my life easier with my nerve disorder. This is exactly what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. There's definitely people that just can't do it, you know? And that's not the only reason. Like, there's people who just don't want to. There's people who don't like the smell of, like, garlic on their fingers, and they have a hard time getting it off. And they've really, like strong scent stuff, but they do like it in their food. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what your issue is. Whatever your issue is, it's cool. If it's solved with garlic, use the garlic. Garlicky. It is a word. It's a word. That's the great thing about English. Everything is a word. You can add ly to anything or y to anything and make it a word. Megabytes is just lazy. Also valid. Because if it's going to mean that you're going to cook versus not going to cook, valid. Oh, and Jane doesn't love Abby anymore. Jane says, Abby, I love you very much. I was just hungry. Oh, Sambar. Sambar, hi. Bonsoir. Comment ça va? I've got 3 minutes. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to throw this chicken in here, and then I'm going to wash my hands again, and then we're going to take an ad break, because that's just what we have to do to be on this platform. Okay. Wash hands, cook chicken, off we go. Yeah, see, we wouldn't want Jane to be hungry. Lassie says in about half an hour I'll be making rotisserie chicken shawarma pita wrap chicken via Walmart. Sounds delicious. Yes, incoming ads. I know. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, guys. The way that we manage the fact that we have to run ads here on this channel is that we take a 3-minute break every hour. This way nobody misses anything. Nobody is forced to sub to avoid the ads. Although, if you would rather sub to avoid the ads, then you get to watch clips instead of ads, and that's a good thing, right? But we will be right back in 3 minutes, and we will see you then. Sings Mike. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. Here's my subscription. Bake for us, maybe. All right, there we go. I did it. And so I'm learning something. You know, I'm learning something. So that's exciting. JRK says throw potatoes at me, I dare ya. I'm not gonna throw potatoes because I don't want to hit the camera. I don't mind hitting the camera with, like, I don't know.
Hot behind.
What was the last thing I hold on a second. What was the last thing I threw at the camera? I don't remember. I threw something at the camera. Okay. Come on, we're so close, we're so close! God damn it! Get out of the way! Thank you, Zagreus. We're so close, we're so close! So close! No! God damn it! I didn't get out of the way of the stupid...
Olympus gave you an edge against me then.
Wait, what? Wait, did I die? Hold on. Hold on. So don't just, like, clip everything.
Who'd you steal the vegetables from, Byron?
All right, I'm gonna set this aside. Because I forgot to preheat the oven. Because that's how we are today. Oh, shit. Look! It didn't budge! It didn't even budge! I was like thinking it was going to be all over the floor. It didn't budge. I literally dropped the whole thing upside down and the batter didn't fall out. Oh my goodness. Amazing. And neither is Marteau. I'm not in love with... Okay, this is the one. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one we're going to do. So I need to remember, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and clip this. Operation Winged Scarab. Steal court intelligence from a Strum garrison. Strum's faction of the court often carry valuable information about troop movements and military strategies. There's a phenomenon, supplies that a ballista is a ginormous crossbow, like think cannon. There's a best siege weapon poll in chat, by the way. Onager also good. Okay, bye for realsies. No take backs this time. Jim, I love you, but leave. Gragas says the Romans used ballistas for defending their legion camp. Opting out says, finally, I can see myself type. Hi, me. Also, hi, everyone else. Hi, opting out. How are you? It's good to see you. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. John, thank you for the raid. I'm so sorry you caught us right at the beginning of that ad break. I take a break for 3 minutes while I have to do the Twitch ad thing. So we just do that. So I don't want anybody to miss it, but we're anyway. So hi, hello everyone. Thank you so much. Guys, we got a little shout out for John, right? Yeah, we did. Cool. You guys, John makes knives. Beautiful, stunning, amazing looking knives. Is that what you were doing today? What were you doing today? How was your stream? I think that's usually what you do all the time, at least what you have when I've been watching, but hi, hello. Yeah, so, if you guys are into maker stuff, definitely drop him a follow and go say hi. Let me scroll up and say hi to folks, because I know there are a few people popped in and said hello. Okay, Commander Wolf, hi. Corey, hello, hi. Is it Sizerman? Hi, hello, hi. Drink more, cook less, hi, hello. Goat Farmer Bluesy, hi there, hi. I think I also saw a hippie Wayfarer in here. Resubscribing. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your emotes and your ad-free viewing. Again, sorry about the ads. Daniel, hi, hello, welcome here. Let's see. He made a knife and gave some away. So cool. So cool. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Here. Okay. Goat Farmer Bluesy says, run away in utter fear, for I, Bluesy the goat farmer, am here. Don't run from me, even though I am a retired sniper. I truly am a sweet little old woman. My 349 goats, though they are devilish. If you see me running, run faster. Seriously. Just basic good advice here. Yes. Excellent. Oh, okay. Netherlands. Somebody's gonna have to help me. Noob, help. How do I pronounce this username? And hi, Swedish chef. Hello, hi. Is this, just call me Red. Okay, that works. Hi, welcome to here. I don't want to butcher your likely Dutch username. I don't speak Dutch, unfortunately. Let me just flip this chicken, and then I'll tell you where you have landed. John, if you have to take off, I don't know what your schedule looks like today, but if you have things going on and you need to leave, thank you again so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Thanks for bringing your folks over here. Really lovely to have you. Okay. John says, crazy month, got a lot of knives to make and giving them out in support of Chef Steve and his Lost Food Truck. Lost Food Truck? He didn't tell me that. He just raided me on Tuesday. What? He told me that he raised a bunch of money for St. Jude's. He didn't mention that he lost his food truck. Oh, he crashed it. Oh my gosh, how horrible. Megabytes says we're doing our best to distract her. You guys are doing a great job. I gotta say, A+ effort at distracting Leah today. You're amazing. I'm a bit of a polyglot. That's fun. Food truck was hit by a drunk driver. Oh no! May 25th when I visited him. Oh no! Oh my god! That's horrible! He didn't tell me that. I would have... I don't know. I don't know what I would have done. But you know, I just met him. I literally just met him on Tuesday. So I didn't know him at all. It's so funny how sometimes there's a lot of overlap between people and yet somehow you don't know each other.
I'll have what she's having.
Did you know that the first French fries weren't cooked in France? They were cooked in Greece.
Lassie, thank you for the bits. Just, oh, golly gee willikers. I put up a GoFundMe to help him out and John is supporting that cause. Oh, that's amazing. If you want to drop a link, oh wait, you can't because I have links turned off for mods and for anyone who's not a mod or a VIP, just because we get a lot of spam. You know, you guys know how it is. But if you want to send that to anyone who's got a pink diamond or is in the mod list, Jane says you can send it to her and she can post it. Thank you, Jane. You could also send it to me. It would take me a second to probably get that done because I would love to post that because that's awful. That really sucks. And insurance just never enough in that situation. Okay, Noob says also, I don't know how to say that either. I think it's Roy Boss. Okay, and duvel as in duvet cover, but with an A sound instead of an S sound instead of an A sound. Roy Duvet. I'm probably still saying that wrong, but that was how I interpreted all of that. Bluesy says, well, kind of, Lassie, but remember, French fries are actually a Belgian invention. Yes, it's I think that was a joke. Jane is MVP. Jane is MVP today. Yes, thank you. And thank you for, yeah, red is fine. I will definitely go with red. I just, I love it that, you know what's weird though? It's what's fun for me is that, I have a lot of Dutch friends at this stage. There's Noob and Mel and Nether and there's somebody else too. There's somebody else. Frodo, I think, is Dutch. Why so many Dutch? And I met them all in different places, right? Okay, cool. So great. So I'm gonna go ahead and, yeah. So I've got that open on my thing, and I can take a closer look at that and kick over some help there after stream. Thank you. Or Rue, like John says. You know what's funny about that? So my nickname as a child, my mother is here in chat and can confirm this. My mother can confirm that was my nickname as a child because you guys know. Well, I mean, Rue, like Kinga and Rue, you know, Winnie the Pooh. That wasn't it though. Well, it's a very long story, but Rue was my nickname when I was a little kid. You can indirectly thank indirectly. I good English. I English good. You can indirectly thank Planet Zoo for Mel. Noob says the time zone offset is basically exactly post-work chill time. Yes, but that's true for all of Europe. That's true for France, for Germany, for Spain, for Italy, for all of these places that are in the European continental time zone. Why the Netherlands? Yes, indirectly, exactly. Jane says Sassy was my nickname. I never introduced myself. Hopefully this has been sufficient introduction because this is basically how things go around here. But hi, I'm Leah. I do a lot of cooking here on this channel, typically 2 or 3 days a week. I also play Fortnite twice a week, hence your friendly fork knife streamer. And we sometimes do community games or other single player games, things like that too. But here I am in the kitchen typically on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fortnite on Mondays and Wednesdays. If any of those things sound fun to you, you should definitely drop me a follow because we'd love to have you back. So there's my spiel of where you have landed. Sassy was Jane's nickname because thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Lassie never really had a nickname. We need to give you Lassie, we need to give you a nickname. You've bestowed the most generous of, actually, you don't really bestow nicknames so much as you bestow titles. They tend to be elaborate. Maybe you just attract a certain type of European. I mean, maybe, yeah. I also have a strong suspicion that it has something to do with kind of probably a very, 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 very high level um, of English proficiency in the Netherlands. That would be my guess. I think, yes, see here, Noob just said it. Also a very high percentage of English speakers, a relatively low percentage of native language content. Yeah, so it's a small country, so few Dutch speakers, whereas it's like Germans, there's like a bunch of German streamers. We've been raided by German streamers, and I always feel terrible. I speak no German. None. Zero. I speak more Dutch than I do German, and you just heard my Dutch. So bad. The only thing I really know in Dutch is Kapsalon, and what a thing to know, right? Because that's like the best thing. But yeah, and so like I would imagine there's a fair bit of French content and Italian content just because they're like bigger countries, you know. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Bluesy says there is one proper time, mine. So if your time isn't mine, your clock is wrong. Bluesy is 100% my vibe, because I would definitely say something like that. Lassie says she does a lot of cooking, but 3 times a week is actually only like an hour and a half of actual cooking. Lassie! You're correct and also terrible. I'm just browning chicken and it's taken me an hour and a half. I'm so blessedly inefficient. You guys, I literally used to cook for a living. I was a baker. I wasn't a chef. But like the number of things that I could get done in an 8-hour shift, so many. I was so efficient. I'm actually going to pop the top on this just because this isn't quite done. It's taking forever. And like I could do like basically an entire week's worth of production outside of bread baking, croissants. Like I could do all of the muffins, all of the scones, or all of the cookie like mixing for an entire week in a single 8-hour shift. And yet, here on Twitch, it takes me an hour and 13 minutes to brown 4 chicken breasts. Red says you want to talk time zones, try jet lag. Yeah. Jane says because my government name initials are in there and my first grade teacher appreciated my 6-year-old sarcasm. I love it. Lassie's like the town crier. Abby says it's okay, Leah, just speak Dutch with some edges and you have German. Noob says that just means you can get fed and get your hair cut. That's like 95% of what you need to survive in the Netherlands. Haircut. Oh, yeah, okay. I might have to go to the bathroom before I need a haircut. So I might have to learn just a few more things before I head to the Netherlands. Abby, are we surprised, Leah? No, of course we're not surprised. Abby says, Noob, can you offer me a job, please, so I can move there? Megabytes says, sound like you just need to get it together. Always just needed to get it together. Okay, but here's what we're going to do. We are going to get it together. We're going to cut up an onion. No, we're not going to cut up an onion because my knife is dirty. I used it to cut up the chicken. So let's wash the knife first. And then we can cut up an onion. Yes, I know I have a bunch of other knives hanging there on the wall. I like this one. Okay. Okay. Lassie says, yeah, but in the bakery you didn't have an obby and a noob, and most of the time a turtle and a brig to annoy and distract you. That's true. I suspect Dirtle is working today. I haven't heard from Dirtle except for first thing this morning. It was not first thing this morning for Dirtle, but it was first thing this morning for me.
I wear no pants. I wear no pants.
Yes. That I don't have personalized sound commands for anyone except Dirtle. Startled the hell out of me. What you're missing is the cigarettes compared to a cooking job. The only difference between this setup and your baking/cooking. I never smoked, Abby. I'm not a smoker. Although I tell you what, it helps me get a COVID shot this fall. I was a smoker. Um, uh, oh, right. Then you have to, right. That's how we ended up with pants instead of Durdle, because there already is a Durdle command to advertising Durdle's pet layering business. Durdle, if Durdle misses out on getting to submit another set the menu, I think he's going to be very distressed. I may never hear the end of it. Oh, thanks for the hydrate, Lassie. Good point. Hey, if you haven't had water, you should have some water too. When I say you, I don't mean Lassie. I mean all of you, the collective you, every single one of you here in the chat needs water. Obby says he hopes that Durdle is pantsless somewhere having a good time. Because I have a strong suspicion that if he is not here, he is likely outside of his house and thus hopefully wearing pants. Yes, you. Bluesy says I only drank 5 liters so far today. 5 liters is a lot of water. You might be exempt. You might be personally exempt from water, but the rest of you should have water. Okay, let's just test this. See where we are. No. Seriously? That one's cooked. Why isn't this one? All of these are fine, except that one. What's wrong with that one? Why is that one taking so long? Okay. All right, hold on a second. Let me rearrange some things. This is a problem with the small kitchen, guys. Tiny little kitchen. Difficulties with space sometimes. All right, so we're going to pull this. We've got our little browned chicken pieces. And then we're just going to throw that one back in there for a little bit because that one, for whatever reason, is not finished yet. Jane says my water is far away. Whoops. Jane, are you going to make me do the thing? Don't make me do the thing. I can do the thing, but it's going to make my phone all garlicky. Des is like, do it. I dare you. Des, you didn't have to dare me. All you had to say was do it. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to do it. Jane, I didn't do the thing because I trust you. I trust you to be a responsible adult who does excellent self-care things for yourself. Guess who I sent the water reminder to? I sent it to Des. Bluesy is a farmer and outside a lot. That makes perfect sense. I'm not sure where you are in the world. But here it has been exceptionally hot. It's been just really astonishingly, ridiculously hot for weeks. What can one of you who are more adept at translating Fahrenheit into rest of the world temperatures please translate 90 degrees, because it's been most of 90 degrees for weeks. We've had like 1 or 2 days of reprieve basically, and it's been a lot. That's amazing. Des says, damn it, I was already doing it. Jane says, guess who I just sent a water reminder to? Did you send a water reminder to Des? That's so funny. Guys, okay, so if you don't know what we're talking about, ooh, okay. This is kind of hissy and spitty. Let me just turn that down a little bit. There's an app called Finch. If you're unawares, there we go. That's better. If you are unawares, there's an app called Finch, and you can do like self-care tasks with your friends. You send them you can send them like reminders to have a stretch break, or, you know, to tell them congratulations, or to tell them, you know, whatever. There's lots of options. And one of the things that we do is we passive aggressively send water reminders to each other. Noob says, here. So Netherlands here. Wait, I recommend waiting for a bit till the whole voting thing has happened again. Ah, I see. Yes, non-sponsored. We are definitely not sponsored by Finch. Bluesy says, heaven, the country that gave the world fries. We have the best fries, best chocolates, best beers, best waffles, best sprouts in the world. So I'm gathering Belgium. That's amazing. I love that. The thing that you didn't mention, though, is you didn't mention the best goats. Do you also have the best goats? Oh, I'm gonna cut that in half and just take one more layer off. Oops. Yeah, good. See, you gotta add the goats. Your goats are gonna think you don't love them anymore. And what would they do if they thought you didn't love them? We have Flemish goats and Nubians. I am not well versed in goat species, so I can't really picture the difference between a Flemish goat and a Nubian one. I'm chopping an onion. I swear this recipe really is going to take me 3 hours. This recipe should not take anyone 3 hours. I'm the most ridiculous person in the history of the universe. They're both good milkers. I milk my goats. That's good. I love goat milk. In fact, you know, it's interesting because like here in the US, goat's milk is not like that common. You kind of have to get like a specialty shop for it, or go directly to a dairy farm. But like in the UK, when we lived in London, there was lots of goat's milk, and there was lots of goat's milk. Well, there's not only lots of goat's milk, but we had there was a place that made goat's milk ice cream. That was amazing. It was so good. Okay, I think I'm actually going to leave that there. I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit more oil in here. It says half a teaspoon, or half a tablespoon, but it doesn't really matter. It's close enough. The Flemish one's ba with a soft G. Megabyte says 1.5 hours in, and we are on to onions. So proud. Be proud of yourself for distracting me for an hour and a half, so that all I've done is brown chicken and cut onions. I see where you're at. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Not proud of me, proud of you. Noob says I'll give you the chocolate, but dang, does Asahi beer hit something different? Bluesy said, did you know that genetically we humans are better suited to have goat's milk than cow's milk? I did not know that. But I do like goat's milk. I like goat's cheese too. Kaylee, hi Kaylee. It's so good to see you. How are you? We have to play Fortnite with Jane. Maybe Kaylee will come play Fortnite with Jane too. Add onion, garlic, and cubed chicken and cook over medium heat. So I'm gonna cook the cubed chicken for the same length of time as the raw onion. I have questions. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna cook the onion and then I'm gonna add the chicken because this is bizarre. That's a bizarre instruction and I don't like it. Sorry, this is still hot. So let me just move this back over here. You know, the other thing that I saw the other day, and I'm kind of thinking I might get one. You guys know how I hardly ever wear an apron, right? I have a ton of them and I hardly ever wear them. But you guys, I found an apron online that it has, okay, so not only does it have a long enough tie that I can tie it in the front, which is what I prefer, it has a little slit in it right here for your towel. I was like, oh my goodness, I need it. I don't actually need it. I have so many aprons, but like, It's so good. It's so good. I'm not going to put the garlic and onion and chicken in for the same amount of time. I'm just not going to do it because I just feel like, first of all, the garlic should not cook for as long as the onion. Like, if I let the garlic cook for as long as the onion, the garlic is going to burn and it's going to be all bitter and that's going to be sad. We're going to cook the onion a little bit first and then add the garlic and then add the chicken because the chicken is already cooked and doesn't need more cooking. It's just going to dry out. 3 hours. Yeah. This is a 30-minute recipe. It's going to take me 3 hours. The Alamo. Wait, Allie. You're from the Discord. Your name. You're from the Discord. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. I'm following you. You're from the Food and Drink Discord. Hi. Thank you for the follow. You're a Recipe Reborn, right? I found that an adorable apron makes you want to wear it more. I have so many adorable aprons. One of them my mom made for me. It's so cute. And yet I never remember. But the utility of being able to just like stick my little towel right there, so great. Kaylee is also down for Fortnite as long as I'm not napping. I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm thinking I may go when Salty gets home. Oh, okay, that's fair. So you're saying it has a pocket. It doesn't have a pocket. It has a slit. It has just like a little like boop. You just stick your finger in it to put your, you know what? If you've never worked in a kitchen, you won't understand. Wait, Stanley just thought of something. What did you think of? Megabyte says I have an apron that says funny. The recipe doesn't call for your bad opinion. There are definitely days, there have been days, particularly in the kitchen, where I'm like, yeah, that's true. Funny. Your recipe doesn't call for your bad, this recipe doesn't call for your bad opinion. And thank you for the follow. Abby says, okay, time to be pants full and go get dog food. Be back in a bit. All right. See you in a little bit, Abby. Thank you for hanging out, and we will see you very soon. Kaylee says I did it to myself. I ate something I shouldn't have, and it upset my tummy. Oh no, I'm sorry. Rusty, hi. How's it going? It's good to see ya. How's your day? Can we get a little shouty for Rusty actually? Because we just raided Rusty on Tuesday? I think we raided Rusty on Tuesday. And for those of you who maybe forgot to follow or who had gone to bed or whatever before we raided out. Rusty is one of my OG food and drink peeps. One of the people that I met first and hangs out with us a lot. What recipe are we making that is the easiest in the world? You can do !recipe in the chat to pull that up. It is in fact a 1-pot chicken and broccoli Alfredo. Full disclosure, I have a gig teaching an in-person cooking class later this month. And this recipe was the one that I have to cook. So they provide me the recipe, and I make the recipe, help show people how to do it, right? And so that's cool. It's not necessarily like my usual vibe, but sometimes it's fun to do things that you're not, necessarily super familiar with, or like isn't something that you would normally do. I feel like, especially on stream, I tend to do things that are just a little bit more involved. Just because if I have a 30-minute recipe and I don't talk for 3 hours, lol, I almost always talk for 3 hours, then it's like, it's hard to fill the time. Do you know what I mean? Then I end up ending stream early and that's no fun. And so, anyway, so I usually do things that are a little bit more involved. So like easy 1-pot 30-minute recipe, not usually my vibe, but this is what we're doing today. Rusty says we're going, can't really complain at all. Good, glad to hear that. Noob says, let's see what the distraction wheel brings up. Oh wait, let's see if Leah what? Oh no, I missed it. Megabyte says we gotta stop meeting like this. People are gonna think something. Oh no. This is scandalous. People are talking about people. I hear them whisper, you won't believe it. Sorry. Okay. Noob says, did you know hot water may freeze faster than cold water? Bullshit. No way. Stanley says, Noob says, lol, I have 3 prints that I'm doing. It will take 4 hours to complete. So if we can distract her long enough, I can raid in. Hilarious. Des says that would be a cool channel point redemption. What would be a cool channel point redemption? I missed it. Abby wants a poll, please. You can use your channel points to ask for a poll, Abby. What are pockets, holes, a concave cavity, space-time anomaly, ransom in cloth form, or pants for your things? There you go. Brig, are you here? Can you make a poll? Noob says, I do like that I can watch a 3D print while watching my 3D print. It's 3D print inception. Okay, I have to cut this chicken. All right, we're going to cut the chicken. We're going to cut up the chicken because that's what we have to do. So this actually starts the... All right, so this is what we're going to do. I got to cube this. So let's do this. I feel like... I've now seen the facility that I'm going to be working in, and my impression is that the idea is that the people watch me make the food, and then they get little portions of it to try, right? And I feel like, so something like this, it's going back in the pot, but I feel like people are going to be like, ew, no gloves. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they have gloves, and so I might just bring gloves with me. Because a thing like this, like I don't feel weird cutting up like onions or stuff to like cook or whatever. But like this is an already cooked chicken. And like I know that this is perfectly reasonable and sanitary as long as you follow food safety like guidelines. But I think I might bring gloves. Because like there's not like a sink in the space. And so I feel like I'd have to kind of like run into the back to wash my hands. And I feel like the reason I like being where I am with you guys is that I can be like, okay, I'm going to wash my hands, which I do 3,000 times a stream. And you guys know that I'm not like being unsanitary. Also, I'm just cooking for myself and my husband. Although today I'm just literally cooking for myself. Right. There's a poll in the chat for the incredibly scintillating and impressive question of what are pockets? Bluesy says it doesn't. Hot water has more energy in it, so it will take more time to bleed the energy of the molecules so that it can turn solid. Des made the poll. Oh my gosh, Des, thank you. Bluesy says, don't believe me, try it out. I'm in heaven. It's safe to do that here with uncooked chicken. Well, I mean, and this chicken is cooked, but like it's going back in the pot, right? So I kind of feel like does that count as uncooked chicken? I don't know. We'd have to ask Kanara. Kanara is the food safety expert around here. Okay. All right, so there we go. This one is literally just for me, though. So it's definitely safe for me to touch any of the food that I want to with any of my various and sundry parts for consumption on my own, provided I have washed my hands, because I don't desire poisoning myself either. It's just a little bit less of a, I'm spreading my own germs to myself kind of a situation. All right. Thank you for the follow, Dang Dots, by the way. I heard that come through and then I didn't say anything. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Let's see, Allie has been considering wearing gloves when I handle dough when I'm baking. I've been getting my nails done recently. I just kind of feel weird with longer nails handling stuff like that, even though I scrub under my nails with a brush and everything. Yeah, and I feel like there's other times to wear, like times when gloves are good. Like the only time, there would be times in the bakery where Like inevitably, every once in a while, you know, you get kind of a little bit of a worse burn, or you cut yourself or something. It's just, it happens. It's a kitchen, you know, it's just not often, but it does happen. And then if I had to put a Band-Aid on a finger or something, then I would wear gloves just because stuff gets on the Band-Aid and that kind of thing. It's hard to wash your hands. And so it was a lot of like changing out gloves. So I do feel like there are times when that makes sense. And also like for things like, even though my nails are not that long, like for things like mixing like raw meat, like mixing meatballs together, like putting together meatloaf mix or something, then you sometimes get like raw meat under your nails, and like that's hard to like get off like quickly when you're just like cleaning up. Noob says the hot water freezing faster is due to the Mpemba effect. There are different reasonings behind why, and it's a bit difficult to find the right temp, but it does work. That's bizarre. Okay, once the chicken is heated through, add the pasta, water, and bouillon cube. We're not going to add a bouillon cube. We're going to add stock because I don't stock bouillon cubes, but I do stock. In fact, actually, I usually make my own stock. I just don't have any right now. And I probably wouldn't use it on this. Because I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference in terms of the flavor. But I need 2 cups. 2 cups of water, 1 bouillon cube, and we're just going to pour out half of this. Put this back in the fridge. So we, I do though have, okay, so pockets are a space-time anomaly, according to you all. I do have chicken carcasses though. And so probably sometime over the next couple of weeks, we'll do a kitchen chore Thursday, and I'll just do all the random stuff. We'll cut up watermelon and make chicken stock and I don't know, make bread or something. I don't know. We'll do something. Noob is actually left-handed. Wait, are you really? Are you actually really left-handed? Do you have, wait. Does that mean you have a special mouse? Wait, no, you use regular mice. Do you have to rebind them? Because like, how do you, like, because it would be like index versus middle finger, and that would be really weird. And like your other thumb? Are you actually left-handed? Oh wait, you're left-handed, but you mouse right-handed. I love it. Okay, all right. That makes sense. My grandmother was left-handed too, but she did a lot of things right-handed. Lassie won the poll. Heck yeah. Dez is lurking for nom-noms. Amazing. Wait, Lassie doesn't know what Jane's talking about that. Oh yeah, no, there was definitely no poll stacking. Kaylee says Salty uses his left-handed and he uses his mouse weird. Noob says they do know someone who mouses left-handed. It's rough for them to find good mice. Okay, so we've got this. I feel like this needs to like, does this need to boil first? I also need a scale because I have to measure out 10 ounces of this pasta. Bowl. Megabytes is also left-handed. Wait, what? There's so many left-handed people. I mean, what percentage of people in the world are left-handed? Can we just measure them in ounces? Yes. This is supposed to be mini penne, and I didn't have any, so we're using this instead. I don't actually know what this is. This is fagiolini. I don't know what fagiolini is. It just happens to be what came in my grocery delivery. Okay. So it feels weird to just put this in without it being boiling. Like that just feels weird. Add the pasta, water, and bouillon cubes. Stir well. Immediately place the broccoli over the top and place your lid on. Okay, so that means we have to cut up the broccoli first. Give me a second. Okay. Noob says, okay, so Leah's audience is basically left-handed, Dutch, and Gremlin. Yes. I have carefully cultivated this audience. And it's not the best looking broccoli, and I literally bought this yesterday, but that's okay. We're also going to cut up some of these stalky bits, because why not? Not that part, though. Because this is perfectly edible, and thus we shall edible it. Wait, we shall ed it. That doesn't, I don't know. I'm just kind of cutting this up a little bit more, just to break them up a little bit so that they cook evenly. Okay, so pasta first. One pot pasta dish. Very, very weird. Okay. There we go. And then broccoli. Oh, there's a new poll. Oh no, it's almost over. The poll's almost over. What does it say? Finally, I can publish this. What are pockets, holes, fake news, miserable pile of secrets? Des and Abby conspire to foil my shenanigans. It's going to be a short, poorly attended poll, unfortunately, because I didn't notice in too long. Noob says, okay, so Leah's audience is basically left-handed, Dutch, and Gremlin. Jane says, I was left-handed until my second grade teacher made me switch. I didn't realize they still do that, but that was why my grandmother did so many things right-handed. It was because they made her switch. Brig is also left-handed and from the Dutcherlands. Isn't ounces a measure of volume? It's a measure of both, as it turns out. There are fluid ounces and regular ounces. And so that is confusing, but it does both. Bluesy says mini penne. Perfect. There we go. Noob says he thinks like a quarter. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. That makes sense then. I mean, then it would stand to reason that 25% of my audience would be left-handed, and 3 people is probably about right. Noob says it's true. There are pictures of the Flacco Brigged in the Dutcherlands on the Discord. What? Can you measure left-handed people in ounces? I don't think so. Megabytes uses their right hand for cutting and... Oh, good, you do. You have pronouns. Wait, why is my pronouns extension not in OBS anymore? I used to have my pronouns in OBS and now it isn't. But your pronouns are here. It's he, him. Excellent. So now I can stop calling you they. Jane says my teacher was like 80 and my mom supported it because she was also a switched lefty. Really? Wait, so your mom had it switched and then insisted on you also being switched? That's so bizarre. Oh my gosh. You guys, I was so right to use this pot because it is going to be so very extremely full. Okay. So I gather we're basically steaming the broccoli here, which is okay. All right. Now, the chill geese. What? I learned to write in Germany, so by the time we moved here, I wasn't changing. Where's here? If I can be nosy. You don't have to say if you don't want to. Put the medium heat 10 to 12 minutes or until pasta and broccoli are soft. Okay, so this is so very full and it is so very barely boiling that I'm going to go ahead and go with 12 minutes. Briggs's writing is cool. Texas. Oh, cool. Okay. Neat. Des is also in Texas, but Des is getting lunch. And our friend Pixie is from Texas, although she doesn't live there anymore. So that makes a third of my chat also Texas, which is probably also not unusual. All right. I need butter. Are we talking salted butter or unsalted butter here? Probably salted because we haven't actually seasoned this at all. The stock has salt in it, but not like a lot. How do I feel about this recipe? Okay, well, we'll find out. We will find out how it is when we taste it, and I hope it's good because there's going to be a lot of it. Okay. Now Brig and Jane are having a fight over who's cooler. Megabyte says the longer I'm here, the less I want to be. I can't blame you. If I had the opportunity to move to Germany right now, even speaking no German, pretty sure I'd snap that up. Unfortunately. Happy 4th of July. Texas is a big place. Texas is a big place. Brig is correct. How many of Wales could we fit in Texas? How many Netherlands could we fit in Texas? How many Wales plus Netherlands fit in Texas? Jane says there can be more than one cool person here. We can both be cool. Noob says Brig in Discord equals a flock of geese. Oh, that's true. Recently posted in Discord a picture in the Netherlands of a flock of geese. It's a bit far-fetched of a reference, I admit. Now that you mentioned that, I actually remember seeing that. Brig got it instantly because Brig is way cleverer than me. Hey, Des, we found you a Texan. Well, sort of. We found you a German Texan. Okay. I need 4. Okay, you know what? Let's get another. I'm going to use all the cutting boards in the house here. That's a good thing to be aware of so that I have enough cutting boards set aside for my thing, because I don't think we're going to be able to easily wash them. Okay, so I've got 4 ounces of butter. What are we doing with this butter? Stir in the butter. Okay, that probably means I'm going to cut this butter into pieces because otherwise I think it's not going to melt very quickly. Des says approximately 12.9 countries the size of Wales could fit inside Texas. And the Netherlands is about 16 times smaller than Texas. Wait, so you're telling me that Wales is bigger than the Netherlands? Megabyte says I was only born in Germany and then there for 5 years. Oh, then the military. Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense. Oh, speaking of military folks, we also have another friend who, actually, though, in her situation, she was born in Japan. I think either born or spent most of her childhood in Japan and then moved back here. Same kind of deal, though, for military, parental military service. So I made entirely the wrong assumption there. Sorry about that. Noob says 16 times the size and not even 2 times the people. 16 times the size, not even 2. Wait, so there's more Netherlanders than Welsh? Briggs says Texas doesn't use the metric system. It uses itself as a measurement. That is not wrong. That is not wrong. How long will it take Leah to acknowledge something? By the time it turned green. I assume to acknowledge this poll. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or off to Walmart for 45 minutes. I noticed it when it turned green. A+. I win? That's like a D, right? Is that a D or is that just an F? That was like the 5th thing. So yeah, so it was the 4th. No, it was the 5th thing. So I got an F. I failed that poll. Noob says there's just over 18 million people in the Netherlands. Not sure about the Welsh. Presumably this is something we can easily look up. Jane says it was really hard for me not to tell you since I usually tell you. W mod. There's a reason why Jane is my favorite. Oops, wait, I'm not supposed to say that. Every time I say that, I get in trouble. Now we let the mods fight it out for supremacy in the chat. Briggs says there are less than 18 million people inside each Welsh person. That's not a real statistic. Speaking of fake news, 6 ounces of a cup of 2% milk. Okay, so I gotta wash this because this is my only fluid ounce measurement, which is what we're measuring, which is why we use, you guys know that, right? You use 2 different kinds of measurements for dry measurements and wet measurements. I don't know. You're right. We should just switch to the metric system. Ounces are stupid. But because this recipe is in ounces, I am having to do this. Bluesy says, I was born in Belgium, moved back to the US, got into the military, and when I returned wounded and there were other Americans booing, I and the fellow wounded warriors out, so I just got out of this country and back to Belgium. Understandable. Understandable behavior. Des says we already acknowledged Jane's MVPness and modding. This just cements it. Okay, so you're not going to fight? There's not going to be a mod cage match in my chat? I'm kind of disappointed. Noob says, I hope it's real news. Jane says, I mean, I feel like that's a true fact. Brig contains multitudes, but like there's an upper limit. Stanley says 3D printing uses grams. I see. Lassie says it's okay for Jane to be your favorite. The other mods just need to step up. Wait, what in the Fox News? Oh, yes. Exactly. Des is supposed to fight. Yeah. Fight. Oh man, Leah's picking fights again. It's not fair. Oh, picking faves again. Jane gets all the good stuff. Jane, yes. You started it. Tutubes is with how my D&D printing is going, kilograms? Kilograms of filaments? Wait, how's your printer working, Noob? I know you were having some issues with it. Bluesy says, remember the United States are an undersigning member of the Metrification Treaty. And in the end, the USA is actually metric, as every standard measurement is defined in metric. That's fantastic. Somebody needs to tell our recipe writers. Lassie says, but turn out the other mods have realized fighting is pointless. They just can't beat Jane. Yes, it's like trying to beat Lassie at bear wrestling. Impossible. Stir in the butter, milk, cheeses, a small pinch of nutmeg, some salt, and pepper. I think I'm just going to go ahead and stick these in this bowl because then I can just dump the bowl into... This is actually also supposed to have... reduced fat cream cheese, but I went to Whole Foods and they didn't have it. And so we're going to have to use regular cream cheese. Presumably we can use regular cream cheese if we can find the regular cream cheese. Where's the cream cheese? I bought it. Where did it go? This is not going to be very creamy or cheesy without cream cheese. This is like the kind of Alfredo that would make an Italian cry. Oh, there it is. I'm like, I just bought this yesterday. How far could it have gone? How many ounces is this? Ah! 8. Got it. Jane says, okay, but honestly, I'm mostly just here for emotional support. I don't do any of the heavy lifting like the other mods, except for when you do. Although, you know, I am actually very fortunate in that we tend to have few trolls. Like, I feel like compared to, like, for example, a lot of the Fortnite streamers that I watch, right? They get a lot of trolls. And every once in a while we get one. We get people who, on occasion, who like to make very personal comments. And those are the people we ban. But we are fortunate that that doesn't happen very often. It's not like a frequent occurrence. I'm also going to cut this cream cheese up a bit. We're just gonna like cut it into some chunks because I think it will melt better if it is chunked than if it is whole. Chunked rather than whole cream cheese is where it's at. That's probably chunky enough. Probably sufficiently chunked. Okay, can I get the foil off of that? That would be tremendous. Okay. You normally get filament in kilograms. I see. Noob says it's been working fine again. They updated the firmware, but that made it incompatible with my Control Studio thing. So did you have to completely reprogram the Control Studio from scratch using BASIC? Oh, speaking of which, I want to talk about something with you, Noob. I had an inspiration that it would be fun to do a thing, but I don't know how to program it. But it would be a thing to make it work in my Twitch chat, which means that it would have to be like in Lumia or something to pull a random value in Lumia, and I don't know how to do that. Noob says, but like to pull it from a website. Interesting and mildly terrifying. Okay, well, we can, the next time we're playing Fortnite, I'll explain what the hell I'm talking about. And you can tell me whether you think it is possible and or interesting enough to potentially help me with. Noob says, oh yes, but also it's been running 16 hours a day making D&D tiles. So I'm at, I think, just to 2 kilograms filament in total. I see we have an ad incoming, so I'm gonna get to that in just a second. Jane says, I know who made that poll. Should the moderators unionize? Yes, no, or hi, I'm Leah's favorite. Noob says I don't dare run it overnight. It would be running 24 hours a day. Noob says not. Everyone should unionize. Everyone should unionize. Everyone and everyone everywhere. Downloaded a new version from the seller's website. Okay, that's fair. Stanley says, what do you need done? Chili! Oh my gosh, Chili, hi! It's so good to see you. How are things? Good to see you. Okay, so the answer to should the moderators unionize is tied between yes and hi, I'm Leah's favorite. Yes, onionizing. Everyone onionizes. Okay, hold on. I need to grab another measuring cup. We're doing so good here, guys. We're doing so good. I'm gonna measure some cheese because this is everything. This is all the everything that we have to do now. There are no other things. This is the last of the things. Okay, that's probably good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take an ad break because we gotta go to take an ad break. We are making 1 pot chicken broccoli Alfredo. We're gonna see how it works. I'm not optimistic. But yes. Okay, Brig is gonna go lie down for a bit since work is over. Heck yeah. Down with work. Des is buying Leah's love. You don't have to buy my love. I already send you Fortnite emotes all the time. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and take another ad break. Sorry. Twitch makes us show ads whether we want to or not. Rather than showing them once at the beginning of the stream, I elect to show them for 3 minutes once every hour. That enables you to step away from a screen, check on a 3D print job, get some water. We should all have water. We should all have more water, please. Have a snack, maybe take a breath of fresh air, touch some grass. These are all suggestions. You can do what you want. Don't watch the ads though. Step away from the computer for 3 minutes. When you come back, we will finish up the chicken broccoli Alfredo. We will taste it and see how it goes. I will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I have good news and bad news. The good news is everything's done. The broccoli's cooked, the pasta's cooked. The bad news is a lot of the pasta stuck to the bottom of the pot. So here's what I'm going to say about this recipe. Wouldn't be my first choice. However, it's a good thing that now I know that. So now I know that people are just going to have, despite the fact that the recipe doesn't say so, you're going to have to stir it periodically because otherwise the pasta is going to stick to the bottom of the pot. And this is why I don't like one pot pasta recipes. I just don't. I don't like any of them. I've never liked one. I don't like this one, but we're going to do it anyway. So, I'm going to go ahead and, I mean, like, I think it would be okay, but you would really need to, like, stir it once every couple of minutes. And the problem is that, like, it wants you to, like, kind of let the broccoli steam on top. There's just not enough liquid in it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Would not be my first choice, and yet I have to pretend that it's genius. It'll be fine. Okay, so now we're going to put our cup of milk in here. And we're going to put our, I mean, like for most people, this would be fine, right? But like for me, I'd just rather make like an actual Alfredo sauce, you know? Like I'd actually just rather like make an Alfredo sauce and cook the pasta separately. And the chicken was already cooked. And like, how hard is it to steam a broccoli? It's not that hard. And so I just feel like it being one pot is not the advantage that maybe people would wish. I don't know. I mean, I understand not wanting to have to wash a whole bunch of dishes when you're cooking, and I understand that that's how some people make decisions about what to cook, but like, it's just not how I make those decisions. But I suppose that's why I'm a cooking streamer, and that's why I'm not, you know. Although I guess the mixture that I'm stirring in here is actually helping to get it kind of off the bottom of the pot, right? The broccoli is a little overdone, but that was mostly due to me being distracted. I think I will cut the cream cheese into smaller chunks because it's taking too long to melt. There is so much of this. Oh my God. How many people would this feed? Like 6? Okay, hold on a second. Let me get something I can actually, this is not on the heat. So let me just get hold on, and I can show you guys what this looks like. So the problem is with the broccoli being a little bit overdone, it's, hold on. And it just goes to show that, like, I just feel like any recipe, right, is going to benefit from having made it more than once, or benefit from having some experience as to how to make it better, right? Because I kind of feel like, so this is what it looks like. It's creamy, cheesy broccoli. The broccoli is shedding all over everywhere, so the entire thing looks green. I don't know. I guess we'll taste it and see how it is. It's supposed to be salt and pepper added. So I'll taste it and then I'll season it. Definitely needs salt. Definitely should chunk the cream cheese smaller than I did. Okay, right. But what is Chester dreaming of? Chester is dreaming of, yes, a pasta recipe fit only for dogs, which was my contribution based on my current predicament. Lassie says Chester's dreaming of being a left-handed Dutch to compete in Leah's soon-to-be left-handed Dutch Olympics. Lassie says to win the golden baby bok choy. Is a golden baby bok choy edible? Because if not, Chester's probably not that down. Um, Jane says, I love Alfredo sauce so much. I do too. And this isn't Alfredo sauce. Like, I mean, it's fine. Like, it's fine. Electrifying radio. Hi. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Kaylee says I have like one from meal boxes that's actually good, a one pot pasta recipe, but otherwise, in general, I agree. I'm not a fan of them. Yeah, right. So I feel like in With Love Megan, in Meghan Markle's TV show, she does a one pot like pasta recipe, and I'm just like, I just don't love them. Stanley says, Leah is cutting the cheese, guys. Everyone get your gas mask. Stanley! That actually reminds me the other day. Was it last night or the night before? No, it wasn't the night before because Twinkies wasn't streaming, but Rotten Twinkies, the guy whose stream team I'm on, he was talking about, there was an entire like several minutes long discussion of the ethics of farting. This is why I love it here. Okay, all right, so salt. First, salt. So this is very easy. Like, this is very easy. If you're not me and streaming and have a bunch of degenerate gremlin chatters trying to distract you, it really would be very fast. I will say probably needs to be stirred a couple of times so that the pasta doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. And definitely use an enormous pot because it makes a lot. Or like cut it down maybe if you don't necessarily want, all the leftovers in the universe. Let me taste it again, see if it needs more salt. Stanley says that's the nicest thing anyone has called me. The nicest thing that anyone has ever called you? I feel like maybe actually, I think I'm going to use some kosher salt because I feel like this needed to be like seasoned more at every step. Like, I think I should have seasoned the chicken before I cooked it. I think I should have seasoned the broccoli so that it steamed with some salt. I think it would have, yeah, there would have been a little bit more layered seasoning than just adding it all at the end, which I'm not a huge fan of. So, okay, cool. So we've learned some things. We've learned some valuable lessons about this recipe, and I am content that the next time I do it, it will be better. Not that it's bad. It's just, it will be better next time. There we go. Kosher salt. That is the answer. Okay. And now it's time for lunch. Do I ring the dinner bell for lunch? Probably not. And I guess here's the other thing, right? Like, I don't necessarily need all of my food to be Instagrammable. like it doesn't all have to be Instagrammable, but like, it makes sense. But like, you guys, this is, Mom says maybe understeam the broccoli to cut down on the greening. It's rather casserole-y, which is not really your jam. Yeah, no, I know. And part of the reason that the broccoli was a little bit overdone was that I am streaming. The timer went off during the ad break, and so I was kind of like hoping that it was gonna that I would be able to show you the thing before I had to stir it, and I didn't, and so I waited a little too long. But sometimes things just happen. But yeah, definitely understeaming would be better. And that might have helped with the pasta problem too, because all the water boiled off. Mom says, oh, great. Okay. Des says, so this was cookbook roulette. This book would be out of here. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Probably not, and not because it's like bad. It's not bad. You know what I mean? Like I feel like for the vast majority of humanity, this recipe is great. It's so easy. Like it should be like pretty, pretty affordable. It's gonna make a lot. So if you have a big family, like that's convenient. Or if you're looking for something to meal prep that you can just kind of like heat up a couple of days in a row and there's dinner. I mean, there's a lot of good reasons to do a recipe like this. It's just that it's the kind of thing that speaks to a need that I don't have. Because most of the time, I'm going to spend 3 hours in the kitchen with you guys anyway. So why not make something that I'm excited about? Stanley says someone outside called me strange. Listen, here if I want to walk outside in 90-degree Fahrenheit heat barefoot on a blacktop, I can do it. You can totally do it. I will not judge you for it. I will not call you weird. Or actually, I probably will call you weird, but like not for that reason. It's because we're all a little weird here, and that's okay. I like weirdness. Mom says probably not really overcooked. It's more aesthetics than flavor. It is a little overcooked though. So Lassie says, okay, I should go. Bye, Leah. Sorry I can't join your raid. Have a great something. Okay, bye, Lassie. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks again for the Set the Menu. I appreciate it. Can't wait to make your thing because your food is usually easy and also delicious and tends not to look like this. Yeah, Noobs, this sounds a little painful, but hey, you do you. It's fully edible. If I were served this at somebody's house, I'd be like, this is great. Fantastic. Thank you. But like as something to like make myself over and over again, I probably wouldn't do it again. Not the least because Grog can't eat it. However, that's going to do it for us today, friends. Could also maybe use about 3 times as much garlic. Mm-hmm. 3 times as much garlic. Yep. All right. However, fully edible. We'll definitely enjoy eating this for lunch for a few days. No problems there. Who have we got here? Ooh, what are you doing? How long have you been live? Ooh, you've only been live for 30 minutes. Okay, guys, we're going to raid another food and drink streamer. We're going to raid somebody that I don't usually get to raid. So, Noobs says I'm convinced half of those recipe makers mix up clove and bulb. I think I also maybe used a little less even than I was supposed to because I only had 3 cloves. Oh, there's an entire other head of garlic over there. I thought I only had 3 cloves of garlic, and so I just used up what I had, but I actually probably could have added more. Anyway. Let's see. Stanley says I live on a farm and half the driveway is gravel. Ow. That's also ow. Like hot, but also ow. You are very welcome, Jane. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Right, let's do shout outs first. Let's go ahead and do all the things. First of all, thank you to Grog, who is at work today, but will be home very, very shortly and can't eat this, so it doesn't matter that he doesn't get any. Des, who will be live, I believe, Monday. Yesterday was Wednesday. She's not streaming Friday. She'll be live Monday, I believe, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for more Dragon Age Inquisition. She just got to Skyhold, so there are many exciting things afoot in Desland, in Thetis. And you should definitely drop her a follow and go hang out with her when you have the opportunity. Brig, however, will be live, I believe, later this afternoon. I know she was saying that she didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, so there might be we might call that into question somewhat. And Jane, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a wonderful mod. I love you. But if you are uncertain about the future of Briggs Stream or anything else, you can join the Discord, and I'm sure there will be an announcement in there as to what is going to happen either this evening or tomorrow, or Sunday. We're supposed to have a theater presentation, so you can come and watch theater, like watch recorded live theater with us. We do lots of fun things, including play Fortnite and all sorts of other things. There's also my Instagram threads and Blue Sky. If you want to follow me in any of those places, you are more than welcome to. I would love to interact with you there in between streams. Last but not least, here is my regular schedule. In fact, that is literally this week's schedule. I'm going to be live tomorrow from 4 until 7. We're going to be playing After Party, which is a single player video game in which one attempts to outdrink Satan in order to escape hell. We should be finishing this up tomorrow. If that sounds like a fun game to you, just a warning that we're going to be seeing the end game probably tomorrow. So you might want to, take a break on your Leah content for the week if you think you might want to play the game. So yeah, woohoo, excellent. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and send this raid off to Eat at Dad's. Lou is a tremendous human. He is one of the people who is responsible for, oops, no space there. He is one of the humans who is responsible for setting up the Food and Drink Creator Club, and is literally, actually, genuinely a delightful human. He lives in Philadelphia. He is currently today making chicken and apple kohlrabi salad and focaccia for dinner, which sounds amazing and delicious. And he's a lot like me in terms of like his preferred styles of cooking. He uses a lot of fresh seasonal ingredients. He tries to keep things kind of healthy. Today's a terrible example. So definitely consider dropping him a follow when we head over there. I enjoy hanging out with him, and I think you guys will too. So there are your raid messages. Thank you so much, you guys. I hope you have a really lovely rest of your stream. If I don't see you in Briggs stream at 4 p.m. or in today or in mine tomorrow at 4 p.m., then we will see you perhaps next week for Fortnite on Monday, or cooking back here in the kitchen on Tuesday. All right. See you guys soon. Have a really great rest of your week. Have a great weekend if I don't see you. And we'll see you again sometime soon. Bye.